May I?
Ma'am, the changing of the capital.
Yes,
Very
ma'am.
good. Into what? From what to what?
From Delhi
Ma'am,
Delhi
from
to
Delhi to
Daulabad.
Okay. Why
Ma'am,
was it the failure?
ma'am,
Because
because
the soldiers
the
were
journey was
missing
long and
their
many
motherland.
people
and ma'am,
felt
the
homesick.
North India faced was open for a Mongol attack.
Mongol
and
attack.
ma'am,
What
people
money
didn't
matters?
wanted to live.
What was
People
his
were
next
homesick.
failure?
What, ma'am?
What was his next failure?
Ma'am, the coins
Ma'am, the
were
coins.
too
What
easy.
did he
Then the
do?
silver coins were exchanged with bronze coins.
Yes, silver coins were replaced by the bronze coins. And then what had happened because of
And he
that?
tried to expand his land in the to the north.
To the north and
Okay. No, we were talking about the coins. Why did he again changed it, replaced it again?
ma'am, because there were fake
people-
coins in
Fake
the market.
coins.
Yes.
coins.
Yes, he did not plan that. Okay, so we can see that he tried most of the things, but he got failures only in that. So let's see about the failures. Drain of wealth. This is very important. Underline the subtopic. Drain of wealth is the first failure. You might get this question for 4 marks, huh, children, in your exams. So make sure that you all study this. Drain of wealth. All of Muhammad's schemes resulted in a huge loss of money and the royal treasury was depleted by the end of his reign, right? We all agree that he definitely occurred a huge money loss. One, when he had introduced bronze coins and replaced it with silver coins at that time. And secondly, when he had, implemented new rules where he landed up in giving money to the farmers only, right? So he had to pay the money to the farmers from his own royal treasuries. Got it? Next is loss of distant provinces. Now, as we all know, he shifted his the capital from. Please underline this: loss of distant provinces. Okay, and in the above, this thing. First point, just underline huge loss of money and the royal treasury. Yeah, so you get a keyword that in this you just have to remember that drain of wealth means he had huge loss of money and the loyal treasury was also depleted. Now, loss of distant provinces, far away places like Bengal, Malabar, and Telangana, as well as other southern kingdoms, revolted and moved out of the Sultanate. Okay, so most of the provinces which were linked into his territories, they revolted against the king and they moved away from the Sultanate. So, which were those places? It was Bengal, underline,
Bengal, Malabar, Telangana.
and Telangana. Okay. So they were the ones who revolted against it and they moved out of the Sultanate. Underline this, moved out of the Sultanate. Okay. Next is Rajput revolts. The rulers of the Rajput states revolted and some recovered their territories, especially Ranthambore and Mewar. You remember who had conquered Ranthambore and Mewar? Which
Alauddin
Yes,
Khilji.
ma'am.
Alauddin Khilji.
and now in whose role he lost it? Whose rule he lost?
Muhammad bin
Muhammad
Tuglaq.
So underline this, Rajput revolts. That means even the Rajputs started revolting against the king. How did they revolt? They recovered the territories which were captured by them, especially Ranthambore and Mewar. Underline, recovered their territories. They revolted and they recovered their territories, especially Ranthambore and Mewar. Yes, underline the entire thing. Next, established and rise of Vijayanagar and Bahamani kingdom in the Deccan and the south. Okay, so there was an establishment and the rise of Vijayanagar and Bahamani kingdom. Because of his failures, what had happened? Other kingdom rose to power. So just underline Vijayanagar and Bahamani kingdom, rise of Vijayanagar and Bahamani kingdom. Yes. So just because he failed, it gave a way for the other kingdom to rise in power. Now let's see what were his achievements. You will get a question based upon this as well. So please make a note of it. His empire was the largest, even larger than Akbar's. He had conquered and included Warangal, Malappuram, and Darwasmudra and Madurai. He was a kind ruler, looking after the welfare of his people. He built many hospitals and almhouses and donated to Muslim scholars. He kept the ulmas away from administrative duties and thus asserted his absolute power. So what were his achievements? Were very few. First of all, underline this. His empire was largest. It was more than Akbar's. Okay, why his empire was largest? Because the king who was there before him, he had conquered most of the territories, right? Who was the king before him?
Tuglaq.
Alaluddin Khilji.
Yeah, how come Qutbuddin
Qutbuddin Airbak is before them.
Before Muhammad bin Tuglaq, there was someone.
Ghiyasuddin Tuglaq.
Oh yes, ma'am. Ghiyasuddin Tuglaq. Sorry.
Then we are on Tuglaq dynasty.
yes, ma'am.
Finished Khilji dynasty. We've completed Mamluk dynasty. In Mamluk dynasty, we came across Qutbuddin Aibak, and in Khilji dynasty, we came across Alauddin Khilji.
Ma'am, his achievements are not very big, ma'am. There are only
Yeah,
the
Yes,
achievements
ma'am.
are very
He did not
it is
count.
very small. So underline this also. He built many hospitals. Donated. Underline the entire sentence. Donated money to the Muslim scholars. Next, he kept away the ulamas away from the administrative system, and he asserted his own powers. Okay, underline this. Keeping asserted his absolute power. How could he do that? By keeping the ulamas away from the administrative process. Now, Ibn Battuta, a traveling scholar, wrote the following about Muhammad bin Tuglaq and his reign. Okay, so this is we have come across this name Ibn Battuta. Who will tell me who was he?
He was a scholar from Morocco.
Travel.
Yes, he was a
Traveling
scholar
scholar.
from Morocco, and it is only through him that we come to know a lot about Muhammad bin Tuglaq. All right, let's see what does he tell us, give us information about Muhammad bin Tuglaq. Just turn on the next page. Okay, so anybody who would like to read it?
And me.
Yes, loudly.
Ma'am, can I read the second paragraph?
Yes,
And first me, no, I was the first one.
yes.
There are only 2 paragraphs.
The Sultan's palace in Delhi is called Dar Sar. The palace is huge, and a distinct feature is that it has many doors. At the first gate, there are a number of guardians, trumpeters, and flute players. Between the first and second gates, there are platforms for the guards to sit. The second door leads to a huge wall where people sit. At the third door, the scribes sit and maintain the records of people who come in. The same is reported to the Sultan every evening. The third door opens into an immense audience hall called Hazar Uslan, or 1,000 pillars. The pillars are strong enough to support a carved wooden roof. This is the hall in which the Sultan holds public audiences.
Okay, understood. Everyone understood?
Yes,
it is just
ma'am.
a small description about his palace, how his palace was, how many doors it had.
Many doors.
Okay,
Many
first door.
doors.
What was peculiar about first door?
There were
Ma'am, at
a
the
number of
first
guards.
There were a number of guardians.
And there were flute players also, ma'am.
Yes. What about second door?
I mean, the
Ma'am,
second
there were
gate.
Ma'am, it leads to a
For
huge
guardians
hall
to
where
sit.
people sit.
People would
Right.
sit. And what about the third door?
Ma'am, the scribes
Scribes
sit and
would
maintain the
see
records of people who come in.
who come in.
Yes. And it is what?
It
Is
is
it a door
reported to
which-
the Sultan
The
in
Sultan
evening.
every morning.
Yes.
Every evening.
Evening, not
Evening.
morning. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Next paragraph. Who said wanted to read?
Atharva.
Me.
Yes. Go ahead.
It is admitted on all hands that he was the most eloquent and accomplished prince of his age. His memory was extraordinary. He was much attached to mathematics and physical sciences. He used to attend to sick persons for the purpose of watching the symptoms of any extraordinary disease. In war, he distinguished for his gallantry. Yet the
Splendid talents.
Splendid talents were given to Wayne. They were accompanied by a perversion of judgment.
Judgment. Okay. So the second paragraph describes mostly about his talents, right? What things he had, how in which subjects he was talented in, basically.
Mathematics and physical
Mathematics and
sciences.
physical
Physics and
science.
physical
Okay.
science.
Physical
And
science.
why he used to visit every sick person?
To see symptoms
for the
of
purpose
any
of watching
Watching
the
the
extraordinary
symptoms
symptoms
of
of
an
Symptoms of
extraordinary.
any
To make sure that
extraordinary
if there are any extraordinary disease or what. Okay, symptoms of any extraordinary disease. Okay, so and the last is hardly fine. Okay, so have you got a brief idea about Muhammad bin Tuglaq? How?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, next page. Let's do the quiz.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Muhammad's empire was the largest, even larger than Akbar's.
True.
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 True, ma'am. True.
Okay. Next. The Sultan's palace in Delhi is called dash. Click
Ma'am,
on
Dar, sir.
Sir.
There, sir.
Next. All of Muhammad's schemes resulted in a huge
False.
profit
False.
False,
False.
ma'am. It is
False.
loss.
False.
in loss, not
False.
profit. Okay, it is loss. Okay, next. Muhammad bin Tuglaq was a kind ruler and looked after the welfare of his people.
True.
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 Very good. That means you all have understood the concept. Next. The establishments and the rise of Vijayanagar and Bahmani kingdoms in the Deccan and South was the achievements of Muhammad bin Tuglaq.
No, ma'am.
False.
False. It was his.
Okay.
And it must be a
It
cons
was his-
for him. How can it
And
be a
it was his
pros for him?
failures.
Yes. Okay. Good. Very good. So y'all understood the concept. That means let's go on to the next topic. That's Firoz Shah Tuglaq. Now, after Muhammad bin Tuglaq, it is Firoz Shah Tuglaq. Now, in the Tuglaq dynasty, we had seen which was the first ruler we had studied about.
Giyasuddin.
Giyasuddin
Tuglaq. Tuglaq.
After Giyasuddin Tuglaq, who?
Muhammad bin
Muhammad bin
Tuglaq.
Muhammad bin
Tuglaq.
Tuglaq.
Okay, how was Muhammad bin Tuglaq related to Giyasuddin Tuglaq?
Ma'am,
He
He was
son.
Giyasuddin's son.
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 Okay,
He was Giyasuddin's
Giyasuddin's son. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now today we will study more about Firoz Shah Tuglaq.
Ma'am, it is Firoz Shah Tuglaq also.
Sorry,
Ma'am, his title is Shah or Tuglaq.
it is Firoz Shah Tuglaq. Is the entire name.
After he took over, right, ma'am? Because
Yes. After he took over, then it was Tuglaq. Okay. So after the death of Muhammad bin Tuglaq, his cousin Firoz Shah took over. Unlike his predecessor, he was a builder and occupied his time in consolidating his empire. From Muhammad's follies, he realized the importance of the nobles and ulemas and sought to appease them. He reinstated the Iqtidari system, making it hereditary. He also began ruling according to the Islamic laws, which pleased the ulemas. Okay, now this is here, has a very complete different way of ruling. Can you make out? What was the difference?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
I
he
mean,
was
he
more
is
of
first
builder.
learning everything. Ma'am.
Yeah, no, he see, if you know that Iqtidari system was removed, when was Iqtidari
ma'am.
system removed? Who had removed it?
during the reign of Balban,
No.
Alauddin Khilji.
Alauddin
Y'all
Khilji.
are doing guesswork or y'all are giving me the answer? Yes.
Ruled according to the Islamic laws. ma'am.
Alauddin Khilji.
Yeah, correct. It was Alauddin Khilji.
Ma'am, I told that.
And that's why I asked you now. Are you giving me the
But
answer?
you did
Or you
guesswork.
are asking me. So you are quiet.
She did guesswork.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Alauddin Khilji. ma'am.
It was Alauddin Khilji. He removed the Iqtidari system. You
And then he-
remember?
Yes, ma'am. He
instead of
kept a
that,
close
what did
eye
he do?
on him. And he kept a close eyes on the nobles.
Right. And during his rule, if you remember, he had put lots of restrictions on nobles.
Yes, ma'am. And they were not able to meet.
Yes, they were not able,
They were not
allowed
able
to,
to marry.
they were not allowed to have any marital alliances, matrimonial alliances, right? He kept them away. And in fact, he had spices, appointed spices, to keep a check on these ulamas. Remember?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
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 Spies.
Yes. All right. So now, after the death of Muhammad bin Tuglaq, his cousin Firozshah took over. Now, once he took over the throne, what are the changes he brought? First thing, he realized, and underline the first line for, after the death of Muhammad bin Tuglaq, his cousin Firozshah took over. Then underline that the changes he brought about. He realized the importance of nobles and ulamas. Okay, and for that, what did he do? The first change, he again brought the iqtidari system, and he made that iqtidari system as heredity. All right. Along with that, what did he do? He began ruling according to the Islamic laws. Okay. Why? So that he could please these ulamas. All
And
right.
there were Islamic laws for ruling also.
Yes, you still have Islamic laws for ruling. If you will go to any country, Middle East country,
Ma'am, like Pakistan.
yeah, Middle East also, they still
I'll
follow.
ask my dada then about it.
Yeah, Islamic, one of the Islamic rule, if I'll tell you, it will, like if a person is doing any robbery, okay, if he robs, if he steals
Saudi Arabia.
anything, so they have a rule of, cutting down the hands of that person. So it is still there. It is still
Ma'am, they
Yes,
cut
ma'am,
the
in
whole
Dubai, ma'am,
hand.
they just killed a person, ma'am.
yes, not
No,
kill,
in
just cut the hands.
Saudi
They
Arabia.
cut the whole hand or the arm.
Arms.
I'm
Okay?
so terrible, ma'am.
All right. No,
Like-
that's their way. So now also see, that's the reason, most of the shopkeepers, they leave their shop open and they go away because they are quite sure that nobody's going to rob anything from their shops. Okay, nobody needs to keep lockers over there. All right. To expand his territory, he led 2 unsuccessful expeditions to Bengal. All right. He led a campaign against Judge Nagar, that is Orissa, and returned with a huge booty from the temple. He advanced towards Nagarkot and forced its ruler to pay tribute. He collected almost 1,300 manuscripts from the library at 1 minute.
Ma'am, it's Jwalamukhi temple.
Where it is? No. I said just a minute. I wanted to put the charger on my system. All right. Okay, where I was? He collected 1,300 manuscripts from the library at the Jwalamukhi temple and had them translated into Persian. He crushed a rebellion at Thatha in the Sindh region. So these were all his, small little ways in which he was trying to expand his territories. Underline the first thing. When he tried to, he was unsuccessful in extending his territories till Bengal. Okay. Second thing is he led a campaign against Judge Nagar, that is Orissa.
He returned with a huge
Ma'am,
booty.
should I understand?
Underline. I'm waiting for that. Yeah, led a campaign against. No, don't underline everything. Okay, fine. Okay, it's okay. Then after that, what did he do? He advanced towards the Nagarkot and forced his ruler to pay tribute. Okay, just towards Nagarkot. If you keep on underlining everything, then it won't be called as highlighting. Okay, then he collected 1,300 manuscripts from which temple? From the library.
Jwalamukhi temple.
Okay. Just a minute. I'll just switch on the charger. Yeah. Next is he crushed a rebellion at Thatha in the Sindh. All right. Underline this. He crushed a rebellion.
What is the last one mean?
In Sindh region. Sindh region means, are you asking about the Sindh region?
What does that point mean on the last one?
That means who the enemies, that's how you are asking. Okay, so whichever enemies he had in the Sindh region, he crushed those enemies. All right, in order
He had
to,
a place for them to crush them, and that place was Thatha, right?
yes, correct. That's a place. Now at present it is in Pakistan. Okay, earlier it was included in India only, the entire India.
Because
But
earlier Pakistan was also in India.
yes, Pakistan
Yes,
was also
and now.
included. Okay, so this place now at present is in Pakistan. To regain the economy, what things he did? He decreased the taxes in the Doab region and abolished all other taxes. Now, who will tell me what is Doab region? I had explained to you all. What did he do? What is this Doab region taxes? Who will tell me? Who will explain?
Ma'am, between the two rivers, Yamuna and Ganga.
Yes,
Yes, he had imposed taxes in this particular region, which
Because it is very fertile.
yeah, that
he had
land is very.
decreased the taxes in the Doab region.
Who had increased it? I'm asking.
Muhammad
Alauddin Khilji.
And Alauddin Khilji.
Alauddin Khilji. Got it? You remember he had increased the taxes. Now those taxes which were increased by him, now it's decreased by whom?
Firoz Shah.
Firoz Shah.
Okay, got it? Now, however, he imposed jizya on non-Muslims. Jizya is, click on it. Let me explain to you what does the word jizya mean. It is a tax which is imposed on the non-believer of
And this is
Islam
not good then, ma'am.
by Islamic states. Now,
Ma'am, that
see,
means me.
yeah, so it is like the tax which is imposed on non-believers of Islam, okay, by the Islamic states. Just click on OK. So you understood what is a jizya. Now see, in this, as you all said, ma'am, this is incorrect. So I also agree with you. Now further, when you will study in history, now you will come across a ruler Akbar. So he had removed all these taxes which was imposed on
Ma'am, we know about Akbar.
yeah, so if you know that, you will be aware that he had removed all these taxes which was imposed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just underline this. So in history, it's just this you have to remember. Okay, Doab region, the taxes, who had increased? Alauddin Khilji. Who decreased? Firoz Shah Tuglaq.
Firoz Shah Tuglaq.
Okay, jizya was imposed on non-Muslims by whom?
Firoz Shah Tuglaq.
Firoz Shah
And
Tuglaq.
in future, you will study that it will be removed by Akbar.
Akbar.
Got it? So in history, it's all about this. Now, next is he provided irrigation facilities and easy loans. He constructed dams and dug wells. Now, why do you think he had come up with so many, facilities for irrigation, for loans, for dams? What
Ma'am,
had
to
happened?
regain. Ma'am, because
And to
Muhammad
regain the
bin,
economy, ma'am.
ma'am, because Muhammad bin Tuglaq had.
Right. Go ahead. Had what? Muhammad bin Tuglaq had what?
Because ma'am, he gave all of his treasury, ma'am, away to the farmers, ma'am. That's why he didn't have any money left, ma'am. And this is why Firoz Shah didn't have any money after he died, so he did all of this, ma'am, to regain the
So
economy.
he provided all these facilities so that somewhere or the other, whatever economy was had, whatever losses they had in the entire economy and even in their royal treasury, it could be recovered slowly and gradually. Please underline, provided irrigation facilities, constructed dams. He constructed canals, the longest being Satluj to Hansi. Please underline, this is very important. This entire point is very important. You will definitely, if you want, you can write an IMP over there. Why? Because you will get a question on this. Dash constructed canals. Okay, the longest canal from Satluj to Hansi was constructed by whom?
Firoz Shah Tuglaq.
Firoz Shah.
Okay, and the longest canal is from dash to dash.
Ma'am, from Sutlej to Hansi.
Correct. He planted 1,200 food gardens, which yielded revenue. Okay, so these are the small ways he is trying to make over the losses and come back again into the system. He started factories, which is also known as karkhanas, in which thousands of slaves were employed. So he gave employment opportunity. Only when people will be employed, his income will increase, right?
Ma'am, so karkhana was such an old word because it's still used.
Yes, it is still used. Very, very correct. Underline so that I go on to the next. About he started factories, karkhanas. That's it. He planted fruit gardens. You see, in your exam, you might get a question based upon this. That's why I'm asking you to highlight. Okay, so it is not necessary that you have to write everything, but oh my God, it's time up. We have a meeting.
And we also didn't look at the time, ma'am. That's
Yeah,
what we
it's
put
time
in.
up. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
let's stop here for today.